motion, you and me, and all that we are. You and me, dancing in slow motion, you and me, here in these arms, and it's all that I want, and it's all that I need. If I could love you forever, I'd fall to my knees.
So changes in the air here at the Airstream. I've been pondering something for a while now, and I finally decided that I think it's time to make a change at the Airstream. Nothing dramatic and earth-shaking, but, well, it's a little dramatic and earth-shaking to me. So for years, for folks who followed along with my blog, The Airstream Chronicles, you know that for years I was co-owner of a gallery in Prescott, and I did a lot of photography work. I still do photography work, but I don't sell it in that kind of setting anymore. Almost everything I do today is for digital. It's to go up on screens. So we haven't done a portrait session in quite a while, and yeah, I have not actually dragged out my big gear in a while lately. What do I mean? I mean my whole camera kit, all of my Canon gear that I've used for years. My first Canon Digital SLR was a Canon 10D, and then I had a 30D and a 40D, which was my absolute favorite camera to date. The 40D was awesome and amazing, and it met an untimely end in West Virginia when it was dropped face first and a lens smashed right up into the sensor. That was my only broken camera ever, and it was pretty disappointing to have that one go. But I've been thinking, I've got a lot of gear, and I mean a lot of gear. I was going to just reach into here. I just want to show you, this is my think tank photo bag, and I don't even know how many pounds it is. The other year after my gallbladder surgery, I couldn't lift this thing for months. And it takes a lot of space, and there's a lot in here, but seeing all of the latest jumps ahead in technology with cameras, I think it's time to let this Canon gear go. So I contacted B&H Photo Video, and I contacted Adorama to get an idea of the value of the gear I have. This doesn't mean that I'm going to quit shooting, but it does mean that I don't want to lug around the big camera equipment anymore. Over this past year, most photos that I've been taking, other than for my clients, most of my photography has actually been on my iPhone or on my GoPro mounted to my mountain bike. Carrying out some of these lenses and some of these camera bodies, it's never been convenient for when you're out for a hike or you're out climbing. You always want something smaller. So just taking a look here, my 70 to 200 millimeter 2.8, probably one of my most favorite portrait lenses, and a lot of people wouldn't think that a 70 to 200 is a good portrait lens, but that's got to be the sharpest lens that I've got. Then we've got my 24 to 70, another fast L series lens, and then we've got the wide angle on the Canon 5D. So here's the 5D, and this thing has been treated so well over the years, but just looking at this, hefting the weight of this, I think you get the idea. This is big. And just to make a point, be right back here. I'm just going around to my desk, and I'm breaking something out. So just want to show you this carrying case right here. So this carrying case has my Mavic drone in it. Now, let's pull that Canon 5D out again. This thing is definitely heavy. And so there's the drone case. There's the Canon 5D Mark II. The drone case, the drone is a flying camera. And while I don't think that the greatest quality images come out of it, the video that comes out of it's awesome, especially if you do a little color grading afterward. And yeah, so the drone, a total flying camera that I can bring to locations that I'm at, is actually a little smaller than my Canon 5D Mark II with my wide-angle lens on it. So then we've got the Canon 7D as well. So there's that big body. And with the lenses and everything that I have in here, this think tank bag is sometimes about 40 pounds. And yes, I've actually weighed it. So I think it's time to make the big change. Now, a lot of photographers that I follow, some of the favorite photographers and portrait photographers out there, they've been making the switch too. One of my favorites, Zach Arias. I've read a lot about the Fuji X-T2 and the other Fuji cameras that he's tried out, and I'm kind of in the same boat at this point. As I said on a previous video, I'm in a 25 by 8 Airstream, not a lot of space, right? So having something like this really takes up a lot of space, and with the new mirrorless cameras and the new lenses that go with the mirrorless cameras, it would take a lot of doing to make a bag this heavy. So that's been the thought here lately, and tomorrow I'm actually going to be boxing up most of this equipment and shipping it off to get a final estimate. So that's the change coming to the Airstream Chronicles and to my business, RLC Design. Seeing what can be produced out of these small mirrorless cameras and seeing how compact they are in comparison to the 5D, the 7D, and all of my lens kits. There's no comparison on space savings and on less weight, so it's going to make things easier for when I go out hiking or I go out mountain biking. I just stopped carrying the big gear with me, and it's been an evolution over the past couple of years. I've noticed more and more that I carry this stuff less and less. Maybe I'm getting older, I don't know. And before I let you go, I'm just going to show you one other thing. When I'm talking about these mirrorless cameras, I'm just going into my little stack here. So years ago, I picked up a Canon G11. So here it is. It still gets used. So that's the Canon G11. And fantastic little camera. Doesn't do good video. But this little camera, in comparison to that big 5D, that big 7D, there's no comparison. Just dropping this back into its case. And on mountain bike rides this year, while I've been filming with my GoPro, which is absolutely tiny, I've also carried this G11 along with me, and there's the whole case. So talk about a lot smaller than the 5D, the 7D, or lugging around a bunch of lenses. So there's the dramatic announcement for the Airstream Chronicles. As I said, I've been shooting for years. I've loved all of my Canon gear. I've produced some amazing stuff from the Vermilion Cliffs, from the Grand Staircase Escalante, from Colorado, and I sure am sad to be saying goodbye to this gear, but I think it's time to catch up with the times.
Dancing in slow motion, you and me, and all that we are. It's just you and me, dancing in slow motion, you and me, here in these arms, and I need you to know that I need good.